Hi guys, it's Jacob from Stringbuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site, links are in the description down below. And we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by Chase and Status and Blossoms, I think it is, and that's This Moment. So I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. Now, Chase and Status are actually one of the most flexible DJ duos of all time, and one of the most commercially successful, of course, as well, and for good reason too. They managed to combine this very popular drum and bass sound with the generic style of sort of pop music around at the moment, and on paper that does sound a little bit dull, but with the hard-hitting studio quality that they have and their great live performances, they have created a real presence for themselves that constantly makes them big news when people like this release brand new tracks. So should we see what I thought of this brand new collaboration? Well, it's okay, and it is very different to anything we have heard by the duo before, but I'm not sure this collaboration in particular is doing them any favors. Like I said, a big part of what makes this duo so exciting is the drum and bass side of things. It's a huge side of their music. It's a huge aspect when it comes to their music. We don't often hear that in the charts either, but that has been really thrown aside this time around in favor of this newfangled sort of EDM experimental sound, experimental indie sound that is, and you could have replaced Blossoms with any other European semi-successful indie band, and I probably wouldn't have noticed the difference, which is a great shame as well. And in all honesty, if I just cut the crap right now, this track just suffers from being kind of boring and pretentious in a way as well. The beat is boring, the vocals are boring as well, the development is non-existent, meaning the track is boring to listen to on the repeat listens, and it's a great shame in my eyes and a great snooze fest in my ears. Production-wise, the track isn't all bad actually, and there are some techniques that I can personally get behind. I like the big and roomy kit that is used for the percussion this time around. The kick drum in particular for me is really fleshed out and kind of adds this sort of pulsating, almost tribal feeling into what is a very dry track for the most part. The vocals are okay, and I'm glad they aren't too gated or too overproduced this time around, but the chorus effect did make the recording seem a little generic and plain for me from an indie standpoint, when it shouldn't have really been that way, since there is enough grit in here to really find something exciting about it. The rest of the electronic elements, they're okay, and they do come, or rather center around this sort of semi-industrial feel, with the percussive side of things really taking a more prominent role this time around, but they don't necessarily equate to something that is catchy or memorable, and I think this is yet another big shame for me. Anytime I'm reviewing a Chase and Status track and I don't even have a word to say about the bass is a huge disappointment for me, and the bass was just there. It wasn't hard hitting at all. When it comes to the musicality of this track, I understand what they were trying to go for here. I honestly do. The electronically based indie movement is strong right now, and it is very much the trend here in the UK anyway, and it has been done a bit poorly this time around, actually. Poorly in comparison to some better bands doing this right now. Dynamically, the track never really goes anywhere. It never really develops or evolves. Melodically, I found it very monotonous and very repetitive as well. The chorus doesn't really crash in with enough impact, and for some reason I just feel like things didn't gel this time around, and I think that comes to a collaboration that there is no chemistry there between the two acts. Despite all this emphasis on percussion and atmosphere as well, nothing really had too much power behind it, and nothing really cut through into that foreground as the focus point for this track, the thing that you will be humming after you've listened to this track. For me personally, that is yet another big disappointment for me, because the majority of Chase and Status's tracks at the very least are very catchy, but when it comes to this song, I just don't think there is a single sequence I can get behind. Lyrically, the track is just fine. In fact, no, I actually found it a little bit lame, so I'm not going to even say it's fine. It wasn't even functional. It reminded me a ton of the latest sort of Linkin Park album, where you have a collection of people trying to tell you a story through the form of EDM, and this powerful EDM, a story of which we've heard 1,000 times before though, and this story is for children and it's missing a couple pages. So all in all, it's really unusual and disappointing for a group like this to produce a song like this, regardless of the collaboration. I think the collection of artists on this track are capable of doing much more than this, so I gave it a G rating of 4 out of 10, which is just below average. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.